Start back after lunch. You can tell us a few stories.
Maybe I could.
Maybe
I was quite the stinker.
Maybe if we finish early,
My
you
dog
can tell us
just
a story or two.
My dog.
All right.
Just stink.
One, I don't know if I should tell you stories. It might give some of y'all some ideas.
Well, we already have ideas.
No, not like the kind I had.
Did you ever pull pranks on your teacher? Or do
You have no idea.
Did you
Okay.
ever murder someone?
No.
No.
I've not done that. Okay. Multiplying integers. Maybe a few
That was not
students.
What?
Just kidding.
Oh,
Okay.
excellent.
Multiplying integers, 1.4. Moving right along. The product. What does product mean?
Number?
Answer to a multiplication problem. So whenever you see the word product, that's right. Multiplication.
It's up
Product
there.
up. I know it's hard to see, Joseph. It's okay. Product means you're multiplying. So the product, meaning multiply, can't spell today, of a positive integer and a negative
You good there?
integer
Yep.
is negative.
Go a little bit slower. It's sneak attack on me.
Okay, so the thing is, the rules for adding and subtracting are very different than the rules of multiplying and dividing. Very common mistake is getting them confused. You've got to really think and memorize these rules so you don't get them confused. When adding and subtracting, if the signs are different, you subtract and take the sign of the larger digit. If the signs are the same when adding and subtracting, you add, and that keeps the same. For multiplying, if the signs are different, if you have a positive, and by the way, dot, y'all know that means times?
Times.
Okay, good. If you have a positive times a negative, it's going to be a negative. Always, always. If you have a negative times a positive, it's always going to be a negative. So when the signs,
Are different.
yep, when the signs are different, when multiplying, you will always get a negative answer.
Could you go a little bit slow, please?
You can catch up. So when signs are different, when multiplying, you will always get a negative answer. Same rule when dividing too, by the way, but we're just going to focus on multiplying today. What's funny is most kids actually feel, and I'm serious because I've been doing this a long time, most of my students do not have a problem with multiplying and dividing of positives and negatives. It's like it doesn't take as many brain cells, I guess, to figure it out. Adding and subtracting tend to be more what I would call problematic. Like I can ask after 2 months of summer vacation, my 8th graders in Algebra 1. They have to think, huh?
That summer was 3 months.
It's like we got out the end of May, and I'd say 2.5. Let's go 2.5. So, because really the first couple of weeks of June, we're still trying to get past not having to get up and go to school, get past your PTSD of the stress of the year. Anyway, I digress. Madeline, don't do that to me. Even my 8th graders have to think a little bit longer when adding and subtracting of positives and negatives at the beginning of the year. Multiplying and dividing, they know. If the signs are different, it's always going to be a negative. For example, -4. And look, it's in parentheses right next to another number in parentheses. There you go. See, y'all had a great math teacher last year.
Cool.
That's right. When they are right next to each other and there's no sign in between, that means multiplying. So a negative times a positive, you're always going to get a negative. 4 times 7 is 28. Very good. We can also rewrite this as -4 times 7. That's going to be a -28. Same thing. Now, I will tell you, now that you're in pre-algebra, we do not write. I'm going to do this off to the side. That's right. We do not write the x. Can someone tell me why? Natalia?
Because x can sometimes be like, like x times y, like stuff like that, like letters.
It could be a
something.
letter.
Yeah.
It could be confused as a letter because now that you're in pre-algebra, that could be a variable, which is a letter. So we don't use the x anymore. Every once in a while you might see it in your book. We may write it, but really we now need to get in the habit of using the dot.
The
Okay.
dot can be hard because it's so small.
I know, but trust me, I tell you, when we start using letters and everything, you'll be happy. All right. The product of 2 negative integers is always positive. And of course, 2 positives will always be a positive. I don't even have to write that down. Y'all know that. So like a negative times a negative will equal positive. And of course, a positive times a positive equals a positive.
So nothing times itself would equal a negative.
Bingo.
Or times its own sign.
Bingo. If the same sign, it's always going to be positive. Negative times negative, positive. Positive times positive, positive. If they have different signs, like up there at the top, always going to be a negative.
That'll be a lot easier to remember. Like if it's too different, because negatives can be if you think about it, negatives can be considered not normal. So if a negative times a positive isn't normal too, so it'll always be a negative. And two of the same signs is normal.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. I'm just okay.
The negative
Hey,
make a positive.
Let me tell you something. One thing I do love, and I will tell y'all, and those of you that have me understand this too, okay? I love peer tutoring. Like if you have a question, this person who's been doing this for years and is really old will explain it a certain way. I can find another way to explain it, but you know what's even better? When another kid explains it to another kid. Because y'all speak y'all's own language. And sometimes my students understand each other a lot better. Okay, so examples. -9 times -6 is a what? Negative or positive?
Negative.
Negative times a
Positive.
negative is a positive.
I was looking at the problem.
Positive 54. How about -3 times -9? Joseph, you're so quiet. Is that going to be a negative or positive?
Positive.
And positive what?
27.
You are correct, Amundo.
Shouldn't there be a parentheses around the -9?
Doesn't have to be. That's why I'm writing it different ways. I'm gonna write problems. Your book does a great job of it. It seems like it's confusing y'all, but y'all don't know what school you're gonna be in next year or your math teacher and everything. So you might as well be exposed to all the different ways of doing math. And by the way, I will tell you, there are many ways to get, sometimes, depending on what we're doing in math, there's many ways to get to the same problem. Okay, same answer, I should say. So don't think that my way is the only way. There's many different ways to get to the same problem. I've had students say, Miss Rogers, I did it blah, 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 and I got the same answer. It's okay, let's try another problem and see if it works for you. If it continues to work for you, go that route. As long as, everyone's brain is wired differently. So sometimes people think differently on how to solve the same problem and get the same answer. So don't ever think it has to be my way. I don't care
It's the
what
only
way.
I know.
As long as you get the right answer and it's not because you're cheating, I don't care.
Just like yesterday.
All right. So basically, yeah, just like yesterday. Different sign equals a negative. Same sign equals positive.
I wrote the negative sign like normally, just the line, but then positive I actually wrote out the word.
Hey, whatever.
Happens to me a lot.
When you're done, put your pencil down so I know that you're done. All right. Here we go. I've got to turn to the next page because I have a lot to do. Okay. Now,
Will this be enough space
How do
for
you
it?
do that?
I don't know.
How does she do what?
Multiplying
X and then a plus sign.
more than one factor. Whoops. Multiplying more than one factor.
What's a factor?
A number
Oh.
when you're multiplying. Now, this is a good rule of thumb because in this chapter, you're doing order of operations. You need to learn to work left to right. Don't always jump around everywhere because you need to just get into the habit of working left to right.
Miss Crowell's been teaching me a lot too. So
Good. You know what?
She said she'd swim with you.
I've known her for a long time. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to stop right there. Always work left to right. Okay? Because this stuff I feel is going to confuse you. Let's not even go there.
Are we doing dividing today?
No.
Okay.
No. I used to, long time ago, do multiplying and dividing the same day. And it's a lot. So I enjoy just breaking it up.
Yeah, I like doing that.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start on examples. So open your books to page 18.
I'm going to go on the next page to kind of look through the pen.
I don't, it's okay. Page 18, boys and girls, page 18.
Oh.
Page 18.
Oh, shoot. Actually, my Why is there a picture of an axe?
It's because if you don't do it right, you off with your head. Okay, so I think you guys understand the basics. So we're going to move to section B.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
So we're not going to do section A at all today?
We're going to do number 20. That's where we're starting at. So look at number 20. Negative 10 times negative 24. So since Joseph just did one. I'm going to tell you you're next. Negative 10 times negative 24.
Is positive 240.
Positive 240. Very good.
I love your handwriting.
Oh,
Which
thank you.
have good handwriting.
I have horrible handwriting, so
Your
I take that
handwriting
as a
is
compliment.
You should have seen Satan's
Okay.
handwriting.
Shh, 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 shh. All right. Any questions about how we got that?
No, man.
Okay, so remember 24 times 10, 0, 0. Okay, we're going to the 1, so we put a 0 there. 1 times 4, 1 times 2, and then add if you have forgotten that. Okay.
There was another way they taught us is if it's 10 times anything, just take the 0 off the 10 and
Oh,
add it
yeah.
to the other number.
Exactly. Okay, I'm doing that with, I think, 6th grade today. Negative 6 times 18. Tanner. So off to the side, you can do your math and then you tell me the answer. No, I said Tanner.
Oh shit, I forgot what 8 times 6 was.
Can't tell her.
Let her figure it
I'll
out.
figure it out.
Okay, so what's the total answer?
108.
Positive or negative?
Negative.
Very good. Good job. So negative, the signs are different, so the answer is going to be negative. Good job. Negative times a positive is a negative. All right, 24. Kelly, negative 21 times negative 28. Off to the side, you can work it all out there. Take your time. Remember, we're going to be doing this after lunch also, so.
It's good. We'll be nice and nourished. No, we're hungry.
What's for lunch?
Shh, no. Kelly is concentrating.
Um, 588
Positive or negative?
positive
Why?
because there's two negative signs.
That's right, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Very good.
I thought I was wrong for a second.
No,
I was like,
no. You're doing good.
I was wrong.
All right, Madeline. 3 times negative 117. Negative or positive? What?
Negative.
Very good. All right, good job, because the signs are different, so it's negative. All right, drop down to number 30. Negative 9 times negative 5 times negative 18 times negative 1. Okie dokie.
Jeez.
So, we have 4 different integers here that we're all multiplying together. Danny, you have a question?
No, I know how to do this.
Okay, so I'll just start calling on people first. We're going to work left to right.
Yeah.
Joseph, what is negative 9 times negative 5?
Positive 45.
And we are rewriting the rest of the problem. Atalia, what is 45 times, oh, that should have been red. What is 45 times negative 18? And take your time.
810.
Positive or negative?
Negative.
That's right, negative 810. And I'm rewriting the other part of my problem. Tanner, what is negative 810 times negative 1?
810.
Very good, positive 810. Y'all are like, great. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I don't think I need to do any more examples. I think you guys got this. So, I'm going to go ahead and write on here, when we come back after lunch, you're going to do page 18, 19, numbers 19 through 33 odd. And then, nope, not today. 57 to, ooh, yeah, 63 odd.
Oh no.
I'm going to start doing, instead of bonus, because I've been doing that, I'm going to start doing these like cumulative reviews to help keep that stuff fresh in your brains.
I'm gonna
You have a
homework.
quiz on Monday.
I'm gonna have homework.
No, you're not, because after lunch,